Because I You're not sleeping well. Because I wasn't sleeping well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So last week we did our sixth avatar. We started our not sixth, actually seventh avatar, right? I'm confused. Let me check. So yeah, last week we started with Rama avatar, and so obviously Rama avatar story is very big, so we could not finish the whole story. So we will continue, but I will also quickly do the recap so that um, you know you can also get to know what we have covered so far. And Hare Krishna, Anish.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So yeah, so seventh avatar, yes. So Ramachandra is seventh avatar. So without further ado, I am gonna start. Let me share my screen. Okay.
Prabhuji.
Yes.
I like your tilak.
You like my tilak?
Yes.
Good. Yeah, well.
So today, what avatar are we doing?
We are doing a Rama avatar, and thank you for complimenting my tilak. So yeah, we are doing the Rama avatar today. We already started Rama avatar, Ramchandra, not Parshuram. So we already did the Parshuram, right?
Okay.
So okay, can both of you see my screen?
Prabhuji, I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead, go to the bathroom, and we can wait for you. So Anish, we will wait just a minute or so for Om to come. I just want to, in fact, in the meantime, I will put the screen on a. Okay. Anish, can you see my screen? It says Bal Mukunda class presentation.
Yes.
And did you print out the page that I sent on the group? Do you have it with you? I sent one PDF, one-page document on the group. Were you able to print that out, Anish? Okay. Well, I guess you're not able to unmute.
We're working on that.
Okay, I didn't get you. Were you able to print that?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so because that will be our activity at the end, not now. So don't start now. Give it father or mother in the meantime. All right, so let's start with our prayers, and before Om comes, like in the meantime, Om comes, we can start our prayers. So, Mangalacharan prayer. Om Agnanitimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. And then Srila Prabhupada Pranam Mantra. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschala Deshatarine. And the Panchatattva Mahamantra. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. And then Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So welcome both of you. So we will continue with our Dashavatar series. Om, can you also see the screen? Anish confirmed that he was able to see the screen. You can also see the screen.
Yes.
You can see the screen, right? Okay, yeah.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So quickly, we will do a recap. So first avatar, which is the first avatar? Yes. Om, go ahead.
Wait. Can you move the other screen like this? The thing is like it's not full screen. You have to
It's
move
not
it.
full screen. Okay.
But just the bottom is a little covered, so you have to like move the screen a little.
Okay. Well, maybe it's because of. Okay. Maybe it's. Is this fine?
Yeah, this is fine. So.
Yeah.
Matsya.
Yes, Matsya. Oh, okay. Well, you already. But yeah, I know you know this. First incarnation is Matsya. Okay, the second incarnation.
Kurma.
Yes, Kurma. Good, nice. Third incarnation.
Varaha.
Varaha, yes. Sorry, say that.
Minds.
Is that yours? Right.
Yeah,
yes. Good.
And fourth is
Narsinga, yes. Fifth incarnation.
Fifth is Parshuram.
Fifth is Parshuram?
No, wait. I don't remember the fifth one.
Who asked for 3 steps of land?
Oh, Vamanadev?
Yes.
I didn't do the Vamana.
Sorry?
I did not do the Vamana.
You did not attend that?
No. No, I did attend the class, but I didn't color it.
You didn't color it. Okay, but you can still color it if you want to.
Yeah. I school and work, so I didn't have to.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. And then the next incarnation, sixth incarnation.
Sixth incarnation is, I think, Parshuram.
Parshuram, yes, or Bhrigupati.
Yeah.
Okay, and last week we started with the 7th incarnation, which is Lord Ramchandra. So so it's a Lord Ramchandra. He when he appeared, performed many pastimes, and Lord Ramchandra is a very important incarnation. So I wanted to cover in depth the story of Ramchandra, which is presented primarily in Valmiki's Ramayana. So last week we did some portion of it. We covered some portion of it, and we are going to continue. But I will also do a quick recap of what we covered last week, and then we will continue further. So, as you would know, Lord Ramchandra, Lord incarnated as Ramchandra to slay the demon Ravana, the tyrant Ravana, and to establish the principles of religion. Okay. So last week, as I mentioned, and I will do a quick recap, so I will not go into details. So Ramayana is the main work, is the main epic which depicts the story of Lord Ramchandra. It narrates the life of Lord Ram. It consists of nearly 24,000 verses, and which is divided into 7 Kanda and 500 sargas, which are chapters. So 24,000 verses, 500 chapters, and 7 kandas. Like we have Srimad Bhagavatam, which has 18,000 verses, 12 cantos or skanda, and 335 chapters. So Ramayana is even bigger. 24,000 verses, 7 kandas, and 500 chapters, 500 sargas. So these are the 7 kandas or sections in the Valmiki Ramayana. First is the Bal Kand, which describes the childhood pastimes of Lord Ramchandra, Sita's birth, and marriage of Lord Ramchandra and Sita Mata. Then the Ayodhya Kand. Then after that is Aranya Kand. Ayodhya Kand describes about the preparations for Lord Ramchandra's coronation, but he was sent to forest in exile. And then Aranya Kand describes the forest exile of Ram with Sita and Lakshman, and the kidnapping of Sita by the demon king Ravana. And then Kishkinda Kand describes how Lord Ram and Lakshman went in search for Mother Sita, and how Ram and Hanuman met at Kishkinda. Then Sundar Kand describes the detailed account of Hanuman's adventures, including his meeting with Mother Sita. Then Yuddha Kand, or it is also called as Lanka Kand, which describes the battle between Ram and Ravana, and Ram and Sita's return to Ayodhya. And then Uttarkand is Sita was banished. Just a second. Okay. Yeah. Where Sita was banished, and Love and Kush were born. So these are the 7 kandas. We will go into more details. Of course, we cannot cover the whole Valmiki Ramayana in our presentations because it's a very big subject matter. So Bal Kand, Ayodhya Kand, Aranya Kand, Kishkinda Kand, Sundar Kand, Yuddha Kand, and Uttar Kand. These are the 7 sections or 7 kandas of Valmiki. So this is, we covered in the picture format. So this is the Adi Kand, starting with Adi Kand or Bal Kand. Bal Kand is a more popular term. So this describes, and you, both of you must be, familiar with the story of Ramayana a little bit. So Bal Kand describes how King Dashrath was the king of Ayodhya, and he had 3 queens primarily, Kaushalya, Kaikai, and Sumitra. but none of them had any sons. So they were all, always sorrowful, because they did not have any son. So one day, what happened is King Dashrath went out into a forest for hunting, and he, by mistake, killed someone, thinking him to be a deer. So he heard a sound in the forest of someone like drinking a water, and he thought it's a deer. So he shot an arrow. Dashrath was a very powerful warrior, and he was a great hunter. So, and he could um, he could shoot an arrow even just by hearing the sound, like without even like looking at the subject, without even looking at whom he, without looking at the target, he could even shoot an arrow. So he heard a sound, and so he shot an arrow, but unfortunately it hit uh, the son of blind parents. His name is Shravan Kumar. Shravan Kumar. Here the name is Sindhu. This name written is Sindhu, but the more popular name is Shravan Kumar. And when he was, this person, Shravan Kumar, he was filling the water for his blind parents who were, sitting in the forest, and he went to the river and he was fetching the water for them. But when the arrow was shot at him, he died. And when Dashrath told his parents that how he by mistake killed their son, they became very sad, because their only son, he was killed. So they cursed Dashrath Muni that when Dashrath dies, none of his sons would be around him. Even though he would have sons, but none of his sons would be besides his deathbed when he would die. So Dashrath, but at that time, Dashrath did not have any sons. Like when this curse was proclaimed or was given to Dashrath, Dashrath at that time did not have any sons. But the sage Vasisht, he advised Dashrath to perform a fire sacrifice, and he advised Dashrath to bring the sage Rishi Shringa to perform the sacrifice, and then they would get sons. So by performance of sacrifice by Rishi Shringa, they would get sons. So King Dashrath arranged for the sage Rishi Shringa to come into Ayodhya and perform the sacrifice. So the king welcomed the sage Rishi Shringa, and then the sacrifice was performed for a very long time. And then after the sacrifice was performed, it is called Putra Kameshti Yagya. It is called Putra Kameshti Yagya. That means the sacrifice performed to obtain son, with a desire to obtain son. So after the sacrifice was finished, then a divine person appeared from the sacrificial fire, and he had a dish of sweetened rice in his hand, and then he gave it to King Dashrath, and he asked him to give it to all of his queens. So all the queens, Kaushalya, Kaikai, and Sumitra had that some portions of sweet rice. And soon after, they all had sons. So Kaushalya gave birth to whom? Do you know? Kaushalya gave birth to whom?
Dasharatha gave birth to Ram.
Yes, Dasharatha was the father of Ram, but who was the mother of Ram? Or who is the mother of Ram?
The mother of Ram is Kaikeyi, Sumitra, and who? Who were the three wives?
Kaushalya, Sumitra, and Kaikai.
So Ram was born with Sumitra.
Right. No.
Sumitra.
No.
Kaushalya.
Right. Yes. So Ram was born to Kaushalya, and Bharat was born to
Kaikeyi.
Kaikai, and Sumitra gave birth to
Sumitra gave birth Lakshman and Bharat.
Lakshman and Bharat, you say?
Shatrughna.
Lakshman and Shatrughna, yes. So Lakshman and Shatrughna were the twins, and they were born from the womb of Sumitra, and Kaikai gave birth to Bharat, and Kaushalya gave birth to Ram. So then they soon were trained, and they learned the weapons, so they all performed sweet pastimes in their childhood. We won't get into that now, but because they were the sons of Kshatriya, they learned the use of weapons and became good warriors early in the age. And after that, they were all very expert in the weapons, and they became very good sons. So once they were grown up, and King Dasharatha was getting old, so he thought that okay, now it's a time to crown Ram as the king, and then so that he could retire. So he could retire. So then he told, he announced it, and everyone was very happy with that proposal. But when the news reached the maid servant, before it reached Kaikai, the news came to her maid servant, Kaikai's maid servant. Her name was Mantra. So
like that.
Yeah, Mantra. When Mantra came to know that, excuse me, when Mantra came to know that Dashrath had thought about giving the kingdom to Ram and making Ram the king, Mantra did not like that. So when she informed Kaikai, but Kaikai, she loved Ram, so she had no problem with coronating Ram as the king, so she was very happy. So when Mantra informed Kaikai, Kaikai gave a necklace to Mantra, but Mantra just threw it away and told her, if Ram is made king, you and Bharat will be in the endless misery. So Kaikai So it's a long conversation, but um, Mantra, she brainwashed Kaikai. She poisoned her mind by talking negative about Ramchandra, and so Kaikai falling trap in her words. She also started considering Mantra as her well-wisher, and she thought that okay, well, Ram will be made king, then Ram will throw Kaikai and Bharat out of the kingdom. So because of Mantra, Kaikai, really started thinking in that way. So it's the lesson here is like we should be very careful whom we associate with. So if we associate with people who pollute our mind and pollute our consciousness, then we will also become like them. Then we will also um, get under their influence and start doing sinful activities. So it's always good to be in the association of the devotees who love God, who worship God. So because Kaikai heard the words of Mantra, she started thinking that okay, Ram is a big thorn in getting the kingdom for Bharat. Um, so then Mantra reminded Kaikai that she could ask for two boons from Dashrath that he had promised him and that he had promised her. So Dashrath before in the past had promised two boons to Kaikai. Boons is like anything that you can ask for. So it's so Kaikai when when Kaikai was reminded of that, so Kaikai asked for two boons from Dashrath. And what were the two boons? Anish, Om, do you know?
I think first is Ram should go to Vanvas for 14 years.
Right.
And the other one is that Bharat should be our king.
Bharat should be the king. Right. So, yes, that is correct. So, first was Ram should go to forest for 14 years, and the second is Bharat should be the king. Now, the last week, someone asked, why Ram was sent into exile for 14 years. So I responded that, okay, because, Kaikai wanted Bharat to be the king and she did not want, um, Ram to come in the way. So that's the reason why. But I also did a little more research and to know why specifically for 14 years. So usually what happens is like when you take over someone's property, and you stay in their property for 14 years, and if he does not claim that property for 14 years, then it becomes yours. So that was the rule at that time. So if you say stay in my house and for 14 years and I don't drive you away, hey, I don't claim that it is my home, then after 14 years it becomes your home. So similarly, in this case also, Ram, Kaikai wanted that 14 years exile period for Ram. This is I read somewhere. I don't know whether it's as per the scriptures, but this is one reason. This could be the one reason why she asked for 14 years. Anyways, yes, do you have anything to say?
On the picture, is mantra green?
Is mantra what?
Is mantra green?
Is mantra green? No, I don't think so. All the pictures here are green. Is that what you're saying?
No, the picture.
Okay, your voice.
It looks green.
Oh yeah, it is just in the picture. It does not, this is just a, caricature. Like these are not the real, paintings or drawings, but this is just, someone's imagination. But it closely resembles how, they must have looked. So like, mantra is shown as a hunchback, so this is, which is also seen, which could also be seen in the pictures here. But so when so Dashrath was very happy hearing when Kaikai asked for these two boons, and he pleaded to Kaikai to change her mind, to change. He even told to Kaikai that if you want to give kingdom to Bharat, you can give the kingdom to Bharat. I don't have any problems, and even Ram would be happy to give the kingdom to Bharat. But why you want to send Ram for 14 years in exile? But Kaikai was very stubborn. She wanted both of her boons to be fulfilled. And since Dashrath had already given the word to Kaikai that he would fulfill any two boons that she would ask for, so Dashrath had to fulfill those two boons that Kaikai asked for. So Ram, when this news was given to Ram, he was fine. So it is said that Ram was not too overjoyed when it was told to him that he would be given the kingdom the next day. So this happened just a night before the kingdom was supposed to be given to Ram. So the next day he was to be coronated as the king, but the night before all these things happened, and suddenly the news was like, in the morning Ram had to go to the forest, and the news was, when the news reached the people of Ayodhya, they were devastated. They were very sad, because they all loved Ram so much. So they wanted, Ram to be the king. But when Ram came to know that he was going to be the king, he was, calm and composed. He did not like celebrate it. He did not celebrate, or he did not become overjoyed. And when he was told that he has to go to the forest, then he was also not, sad. He welcomed both the situations with the same emotion, with the same mood. He did not, and that is how a devotee, an ideal devotee is like. So whatever the situation in life is, whether it's a happy situation from the outside perspective, or it's a distressful situation, the devotee is happy in both the situations. An ideal devotee, obviously, I am not an ideal, I am not even a devotee. So, but a devotee is, like whatever the situation is, he is always happy, remembering the Lord. And Lord Ram is teaching here, like how the devotee should be. So, when Ram was getting ready to go to the forest, Mother Sita also wanted to join him, and then Lakshman also wanted to join him, and so they all went together. Like everyone, tried their best. Mother Kaushalya tried her best to, keep Sita in the kingdom. Mother, everyone, even they wanted Lakshman to be in the kingdom, but they Lakshman and Sita were very strong that no, we will accompany Lord Ram. So again, this is also a lesson to be learned here. Like whatever allurements they could have received, they were given all, like on one hand you have the all the opulences in the kingdom, but still Mother Sita and Lakshman gave all this up to serve Lord Ram. So they all accompanied, they both of them accompanied Lord Ram. So we completed the story up to here last week. So charioteer Sumantra took all of them beyond the boundaries of the kingdom, and then he left them in the forest. So continuing today, we will start. So when Lord Ram, Mother Sita and Lakshman, they reached Shringaberpur. So there is a place called Shringaberpur where they met King Guhak. So there was a king called Guhak. He was a king of tribal community in the forest. So he was a very good friend of Lord Ram. So when he came to know that Lord Ram, along with Mother Sita and Lakshman, they are coming, so he welcomed them. He offered, all the opulent foodstuffs, but Lord Ram refused because, he had taken a vow that he would be living in the forest as a as a renunciate. So he would not enjoy all the opulent things in the forest. So he will be living like a sage. So how a sage, a sadhu, lives in the forest very, very simply. He does not eat any. He does not wear opulent clothes. He does not wear, or he does not eat opulent things. He just is very simple. So so he declined all the opulent foodstuffs, but he instead slept on a simple bed and ate very simple food. So in the meantime, Sumantra, who the charioteer of the Dashrath, came back. So he took Ram, Sita and Lakshman out of Ayodhya, and then Lord Ram sent him back to Ayodhya. So Sumantra came back and reported that Ram is not going to return. So King Dashrath could not tolerate this. So in few days, King Dashrath died in separation. So he could not tolerate being away from Lord Ram, his son Ram. So he died in grief. And remember, I told you that he was given the curse that by the parents of Shravan Kumar, that he would die, like with none of his sons around him when he would die. So that curse came true because Ram and Lakshman were in the forest, and the other two sons, Bharat and Shatrughna, were at their maternal uncle's home. So, like maternal uncle is mama, we call, right, in Hindi, mama. So they were at their maternal uncle's home. Um, so they were also not there when Dashrath died. So then Dashrath died alone with none of his sons around him. But when Bharat and Shatrughna came to know, they hurried back to Ayodhya, and hearing, like, when Bharat and Shatrughna came to know, like, they did not know up until now that Ram and Lakshman are in the forest and Mother Sita is in the forest. So when they came back, when they came to know, Bharat and Shatrughna were very, very furious with Mantra and with Kaikai. Right. So Shatrughna was very furious with Mantra, and Bharat was very furious with Mother Kaikai, even though Kaikai is her mother. Bharat's mother is Kaikai. So then Bharat wanted Ram to come back to Ayodhya. So Bharat and Shatrughna thought that, okay, that they will go out, they will go to the forest and bring Lord Ram back. So Bharat is a long conversation, long story, that how Bharat and Shatrughna set out in the forest with all the armies, and then for many days they walked. Bharat even walked barefoot because he, in his mind, like, Bharat is a very exalted devotee of Lord Ram. So he thought to himself that that his lord Ramchandra is walking in the forest barefoot. So how he could walk with sandals with his footwear on? So he also walked barefoot. And then at Chitrakut hill, and they all met. So Bharat met Ram, Lakshman. So all the four brothers met at Chitrakut. And then Ram at that time also came to know about the passing away of Dashrath. So he performed last rites of Dashrath, King Dashrath, his father. And Bharat, insisted Lord Ram to come back to Ayodhya. He, forced him, he tried everything to bring back Lord Ram. But
it worked.
But it didn't work. It did not work. So so Bharat returned to the kingdom, but he requested the sandals of Lord Ram. So he could place the sandals of Lord Ram on the throne of Ayodhya. So basically, Ram would still be ruling the kingdom, but Bharat would be ruling on his behalf while Ram finishes his 14 years in exile. So Ram would be the king by placing his sandals on the throne, and Bharat would rule on his behalf. So that was his idea, and that is what he did. When the last picture here you can see at the bottom right how he has placed the sandal on the throne, and he himself is living like an ascetic. Like he is living like a sadhu. He is like living as if um, just like Lord Ram, like even performing more austerities than Lord Ram. So, and that is how he ruled the kingdom in on behalf of Lord Ram. So here we finish Ayodhya Kand. Now Aranya Kand. So Ram, Lakshman, and Sita started living in a hut in the forest called Panchvati on the banks of river Godavari. So what happened one day is they were living there, peacefully. So one day, and many years passed by in the meantime. But one day, what happened is one demoness named Surpanaka, she came, and she's a sister of King Ravan. So Surpanaka came, and she came in the guise of a beautiful woman, and she came and told Ram to marry her. She asked to marry her. So, but Ram refused. Ram said that he has taken a vow that he would only be once, and he said that he is already married to Sita, so he cannot marry her. So when Ram refused, she Surpanaka revealed her horrible form. So as you can see in the picture here, she revealed her horrible form, and she tried to eat Sita. She basically tried to kill Sita, but Lakshman cut off her nose and ears. So he cut the nose and ears of Surpanaka. And so when this happened, Surpanaka, there were like other two companions, Khar and Dushan, who were there with Surpanaka. So Khar and Dushan came when this happened, and they attacked Lord Ram and Lakshman with full force. But Ram fought fiercely with them and killed them. So then when Surpanaka went back to her brother Ravan. So at Lanka. So Ravan is the king of Lanka. So present day it is Sri Lanka. Surpanaka went to Ravan at Lanka, and she told the entire story to him. And then when Ravan heard her, he said that, oh sister, do not weep. I will, I will take revenge for you. So Ravan devised a plan. So he like so Surpanaka also told to Ravan. So like the way she told the story to Ravan was that, oh brother, I wanted there is this beautiful woman called Sita in the forest. I wanted her to be your wife. So I thought she is worthy to be your wife. So I but when I thought of bringing her for you, Ram and Lakshman, they cut my, ears and nose. So Rama devised a plan to kidnap Sita. So he went to Panchvati, and with there was another Rakshasa or demon called Marich. So he asked Marich to accompany him, and he asked Marich to become a golden deer and roam before Sita. So Sita could be allured by the golden deer. So Marich became the golden deer. Ravan became an ascetic, like a brahmana. And so what happened is Marich started grazing as a golden deer in front of Sita's hut. So as you can see in the middle picture, in the middle circle here, there is this golden deer, which is none other than Marich, who is a Rakshasa. So when Mother Sita saw that, she could not recognize that he's a Rakshasa. So she just saw it as a golden deer. So she asked Lord Ram, "Oh Lord Ram, please catch this deer for me." And then Ram took the bow and arrow, and he goes to kill this golden deer. As soon as Ram picks up the bow and arrow, that the deer starts running away in the forest. So he, like a deer, starts running into the forest and deep in the forest, and so Ram had to follow him to a great distance. And then Ram eventually, shot an arrow at Marich. But while dying, Marich imitated Ram's voice and called out, "Save me, Lakshman! Save me, Lakshman!" So Sita, when she heard this, she thought that Lord Ram is in danger, because Marich called out this in Ram's voice. So this Rakshasa have very great powers. They could imitate others' voices and all. They can take others' forms, and they can use other voices. So when she heard this, he asked Lakshman to go and see if Ram is in danger and help him. Lakshman told to Sita, Mother Sita, that nothing can happen to Ram, because he was fully aware of Ram's prowess, and he was fully confident that nothing could happen to Ram, because he is a powerful warrior. He had killed so many demons already, but Mother Sita was very worried. So, but he could, since Ram was already in the forest, and deep in the forest, and if Lakshman also goes and helps Ram, so she would be left alone. Mother Sita would be left alone. So Lakshman drew a line around the hut and told and said, "Mother, please do not cross over this line. As long as you remain inside this line, you will be protected. Please do not go beyond this limit. Please do not go beyond this line." So Mother Sita said, "Okay." But what happened at that time is, as soon as Lakshman left, Ravana came as a brahmana, as an ascetic, praying, asking for alms, how the brahmana, an ascetic sadhu comes and asks for the alms, like bhiksham dehi, they say, right? So so Sita went inside and got some, food, fruits and vegetables for this ascetic, who is none other than Ravana. So Ravana, grabbed her hand, and he so Ravana told Sita that please come outside the line. I will not accept anything which is given from inside this line. The line that Lakshman drew, it is called Lakshman Rekha. So it is also called Lakshman Rekha. So Mother Sita said that she cannot go beyond this limit, beyond this line. But Ravana was very, very,
Angry.
yeah, he was angry. He said that if you do not come out of this limit, then I will curse you. So Mother Sita was, scared. So she came outside the line, and then Ravana, like who was an ascetic up until now, he assumed his original form of Ravana, and then he grabbed Mother Sita and he put her in her in his chariot, and this chariot could fly also. So it is called, his chariot could fly. So he took Mother Sita, and then there was this old bird called Jatayu, who tried to help Mother Sita. Jatayu, as you can see in this picture, like the bird with the wings, a very very huge bird. That bird started to tried to save Mother Sita from Ravana, but Ravana cut down the wings of Jatayu, and then Jatayu fell down. So let me see how much okay, there is only one page before we get to the remaining part. So then this chariot flew above the mountain Rishimukh, where Sugriv, the brother of King Bali, the king of monkeys Bali, was sitting. So we will come to know like who is Sugriv and Bali. So Sugriv is so say yes, Om. What did you say?
He's Sugriv a monkey, and he's like a monkey family.
Yeah, Sugriv is the monkey family.
Except for Jambavan. He's just a big...
Yes, right. Except for Jambavan, all are monkeys. So Sugriv actually is the king of, is a son of Suryadev. Right, yeah. Sugriv actually is the son of Suryadev, right? Yeah. But yeah, they because when Lord Vishnu was to appear as Lord Ram, all the demigods also took birth on the earth. They all took birth as monkeys to help Lord Ram in his mission of killing Ravana and to establish the principles of religion. So all the demigods always assist the Lord in his mission. So when the chariot flew above the mountain Rishimukh, on that mountain, Sugriv was sitting, and who is the brother of Bali, who is the king of monkeys. So seeing that, Sita threw down her ornaments and telling them to inform Lord Ram. So there in the forest, when returning, when Ram and Lakshman returned to the hut, so when Ram met Lakshman in the forest, so Lakshman on advice, on request of Mother Sita, when he went into the forest to help Ram, and when Ram and Lakshman met, Ram asked Lakshman, like, why did you come? Mother Sita will be alone. So, but Lakshman told him that, like, I was forced by Mother Sita to, come and, help you. So then they ran back to the hut, and when they both returned to the hut, they were very
searching.
They were searching for Mother Sita everywhere, but they could not find. And then, so the search for Mother Sita will continue. And then they searched everywhere, and from at last they got the news from Jatayu, like whose wings were cut off by Ravana. So he was lying and bleeding. He was not dead. He was still bleeding. And he was so when they saw Jatayu, Jatayu told him that the chariot was went towards Rishimukh. So we will continue with the rest of the story next week. Uh, it's an interesting story. And how Ram and Lakshman, they meet like Sugriv and Hanuman, and how they all assist Ram and Lakshman and to search for Mother Sita, and how like Ram fights with Ravana in the battle. So all this we will see in the next week. But in the meantime, we will stop here. So this is the rhyme that we did last week also. So we will quickly go over it one more time for the sake of time. Like we are already like past 8 o'clock. So this is the rhyme. And again, this is from the Dashavatara Stotram that we are doing. So I will quickly recite this, and then if any one of you would like to recite after me, you can. Vittarasi dikshu rane dikpati kamaniyam dashamukhamali balim ramaniyam keshavadrita rama sharira jaya jagadish hare. Jaya Jagadish Hare. Jaya Jagadish Hare. Om, you want to try?
Hare Krishna. I'm doing this rhyme. The class is not done. Vittarasi dikshu
rane
dikpate kamayam
Dashamukha.
I don't really know how to read all of this because of line and that I don't understand.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So you can repeat after me. Dashamukha. Mauli Balim. Ramaniyam. Keshavadrita. Rama Sharira. Jaya Jagadish Hare. Yes. So Anish, we already did this last week. So we can just quickly go over the translation, and then we will go on with the activity. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed. Yes.
For the activity, do you need the paper?
Yes, activity. So we will just, right after this will be our activity.
Okay, let me get everything ready.
Who have assumed the form of Ramchandra, all glories to you. In the battle of Lanka, you destroy the 10-headed demon Ravana and distribute his heads as a delightful offering to the presiding deities of the 10 directions, headed by Indra. This action was long desired by all of them, who were very much harassed by this monster. All right, so this is the rhyme, and then, oh yes, the shloka is also there. Okay. So the shloka for today is 2.30 from Bhagavad Gita. So we will do this, and then activity you can do as homework. So you can, I have sent that. So it's a very interesting activity. So before doing this course, let me show you what the activity is. So it's a find the way. You may have already done this. So before, but it's a very interesting one.
Oh, it's for Ram to catch the deer.
Yes. So Sita wants Ram to catch the deer, right? So you have to find the way. You have to help Ram to find the deer. So there could be many ways. It could be like, here and there. It's sometimes. So one hint I can give you is like you can start backwards. Like, always it's better to like you can start from the deer and go backwards. And you can use multiple pages. Like, if you get stuck somewhere, you can like use another copy. You can print it again and use the fresh copy, because then you know that, okay, this route is, we can take this, we can take that out, because it's not, this is not going back to Ram. So then you can try the other route. So you can try multiple times. It's a fun activity. And then once you are done, you can take a picture and send it to the group. Can you do that? Can you do that, Om? Can you do that, Anish?
Prabhuji, I cannot print out.
No, we cannot print it.
We cannot print it.
You cannot print it. Oh, okay. You can do it online. I guess what you can do is, there are different functions like you can, okay, yes, what you can do is you can open this image in the Paint and then like draw a line in the Paint. Like there is a software, like, Paint software, or any software where you can use, like where you can draw a line on the computer. You can even do that. Or, you can, if you cannot print out today, you can print it out like tomorrow, and send it to me and send it on the group, yeah, like it does not have to be, done today. So yes.
We can't like do it tomorrow.
Yeah, you can do it tomorrow. It's fine.
My dad is gonna be home, so yes, it will work.
Yeah. You can do it tomorrow, anytime. Yeah, you can like, if you have to go out to print, you can print like few copies, so that like even if you like are not able to do it in the first time, you can do it multiple. Like I personally, I tried it like for 10-15 minutes before the class, and I was not able to find it. So I'm also going to try and see if I can help Ram find the deer. Anish, can you do it, beta? Yes. So you can also do it. Like you can use use the dark colored pen or pencil. That you can see. I can see the line, and then you can post it on the group. All right. So that is the activity, and that is for homework. So, but before we wrap the session, we will quickly do the Bhagavad Gita 2.30. Om, do you know this verse?
Which sloka is this?
2.30.
Is it Dehi?
Yes, Dehi.
Dehi no asmin yatha de.
No, that is different. That is 2.14.
Oh, I
don't. Okay, so yeah, this is different. This is it starts with the word Dehi, the same like 2.14, but it's a different one. So this one is Dehi Nityam Avadyo Ayam. Dehi Nityam Avadyo Ayam. Dehe Sarvasya Bharata. Dehe Sarvasya Bharata. Tasmat Sarvani Bhutani. Tasmat Sarvani Bhutani. Na Tvam Sochitam Arhasi. Na Tvam Sochitam Arhasi. So both of you can repeat after me, Om and Anish. Dehi.
Dehi. No, you can. You don't. Word. If you want, you can also do like one full line and a second full line.
Okay. All right. Anish, I don't know if you can. Okay, maybe I can say the full line, and Anish, you can try, and Om, you can also try. Dehi Nityam Avadyo Ayam.
Dehi Nityam Ayam.
Okay, well, okay. So for Anish, I will do word by word. Dehi Nityam Avadyo Ayam. Dehe Sarvasya Bharata Tasmat Sarvani Bhutani Na Tvam Sochitum Arhasi. Good. All right. Om, for you, I will do line by line. Dehi Nityam Avadyo Ayam.
Dehi Nityo Avadyoyam.
Dehe Sarvasya Bharata.
Dehi Sarvasya Bharata.
Tasmat Sarvani Bhutani.
Tasmat Sarvani Bhutani.
Na Tvam Sochitum Arhasi.
Na Tvam Sochitum Arhasi.
Okay, so I will recite the whole verse one more time. Dehi Nityam Avadyo Ayam. Dehe Sarvasya Bharata. Tasmat Sarvani Bhutani. Na Tvam Sochitum Arhasi. So the translation is, O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body can never be slain. Slain means he can never be killed. You know, we have read in Bhagavad Gita that the soul cannot be killed, cannot be cut, cannot be dried, cannot be wet, cannot be burnt, right? So he cannot be destroyed, basically. So he who dwells in the body can never be slain. Therefore, you need not grieve for any living being. So you need not grieve for any living being. So the translation is, what it says is, O descendant of Bharata, that is Arjun. So Krishna is telling this to Arjun, that Arjun, you don't have to lament, you don't have to grieve for any living being. Yeah, because one who dwells in the body, one who resides in this body, the soul can never be destroyed. So even when the person apparently dies,
the soul doesn't die.
The soul does not die, right? The soul moves from one body to another. So you should not grieve, Arjuna. So that is the meaning of this verse. So you can practice reciting this verse, and if you practice it few times, then you would be able to memorize this as well. All right. So, and the activity is your homework. You can do it whenever, Anish, if you want to do it today, you can do it today and post it to the group. And Om, whenever you want to do it, yeah, you can do it. All right. So, Hare Krishna. Thank you both. I hope you are able to follow the story of Ramayana.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Both of you, do you have any questions?